Humans kept breathing after the mountains swallowed them. That sentence still poisons my memory. Mountains do not eat living things and return them alive. Every civilized species knows this. Even hatchlings know it. Yet I watched the impossible happen with all 6 of my eyes. I am Instructor Correct of the 9th Survival Corps. For 32 breeding cycles, I trained recruits from worlds far safer than the cursed planet humans call Earth. I believe survival could be calculated. Measure gravity. Measure toxins. Measure predators. Measure fear. The strongest species always won. That was before the humans arrived. There were only 4 of them. 3 males. 1 female. The female walked in front. That should have warned me. Predator females lead only when the males are weak. I recorded my conclusion immediately. Human males lack dominance. The report was completely wrong. I simply did not know it yet. The first trial began under artificial gravity. Only 4 times standard. Enough to crack bones from softer species. Our recruits collapsed almost instantly. Several begged for medical extraction. 1 insectoid shattered 2 legs trying to stand. The humans looked uncomfortable. Nothing more. The female stretched her shoulders. Then she yawned. Yawning is a surrender display among my people. I marked another observation. The human leader has accepted defeat. She asked only one question. Is this warm-up? The translation device confirmed every word. I assumed the machine had malfunctioned. It had not. She smiled. I had no translation for that expression. Most species expose teeth only before violence. Humans seem to do it constantly. We increased gravity. 5 times. Then 6. 1 recruit fainted. Another vomited blue digestive fluid across the training floor. The humans complained. Not about the weight. About missing breakfast. That was absurd. Starving organisms become slower. These creatures discussed food while standing inside conditions designed to crush armored beasts. The female checked a wrist device. She sighed dramatically. I skipped pancakes for this. No one laughed except the other humans. They behaved like hatchlings during recreation. I filed another conclusion. Humans suppress fear through denial. Again, wrong. The next exercise involved atmospheric toxins. A harmless simulation for humans. Deadly for nearly everyone else. Protective masks were mandatory. Every recruit sealed theirs immediately. The humans inspected the masks with visible disappointment. The female raised one hand. Can we remove these? I nearly terminated the exercise. Either she misunderstood basic survival, or humans possessed astonishing ignorance. I denied the request. She shrugged. The exercise continued. Within minutes, several recruits showed signs of oxygen stress. The humans began helping them. Not themselves. Others. 1 carried an unconscious amphibian recruit on his shoulders. Another repaired a damaged breathing filter. The female stayed behind everyone else. She constantly checked the slowest students. I believed I understood. Humans protected weak pack members. Simple. Predictable. A survival strategy based on numbers. That pattern would later destroy everything I believed. The third trial simulated predator territory. Mechanical hunters. Fast. Silent. Merciless. No recruit had ever completed it without injuries. The alarm sounded. Metal predators erupted from hidden tunnels. Every species scattered. Exactly as expected. Running increases survival probability. The humans did not run first. They looked around. They counted everyone. The female actually stepped backward, toward the predators. Impossible. No intelligent organism voluntarily reduces escape distance. She shouted one sentence. Move together. The humans formed a wall. Not to protect themselves. To protect strangers. 1 machine lunged. A human male intercepted it. His shoulder absorbed the impact. Bone should have broken. Instead, he cursed. Not from agony. From annoyance. Then he threw the machine over his head. Gravity should have prevented that. Physics disagreed. The human ignored physics. I updated my report. Humans possess dangerously inaccurate risk assessment. Another mistake. Always another mistake. During evening analysis, I reviewed helmet recordings. Frame by frame. Something impossible appeared. Every human monitored everyone else's position. Constantly. Their eyes moved. Their heads turned. Their attention never rested on themselves. They tracked the entire group, even while under attack. No species wastes processing power protecting unrelated organisms. It lowers survival odds. Humans should have become extinct thousands of generations ago. Instead, they conquered their own death world. That contradiction disturbed me. Sleep became difficult. The fourth trial began at sunrise. Temperature, -62 standard units. Wind strong enough to strip exposed skin. Perfect. Finally, an environment no biological creature could enjoy. The recruits shivered immediately. Several emergency shelters deployed automatically. The humans walked outside. Without permission. I followed, furious. The female stood facing the frozen valley. Snow covered everything. The wind screamed like dying engines. She inhaled deeply. Then she smiled again. It smells nice. Nothing smelled nice. Nothing. Frozen air carries almost no chemical information. She closed her eyes. Another male threw snow toward her. She retaliated instantly. Within seconds, all four humans were attacking each other with frozen water. They laughed. During survival training. I recorded the event for disciplinary review. Then something happened that none of my simulations predicted. An avalanche warning activated. The mountain vibrated. Every alarm turned crimson. The slope above us cracked open. Millions of tons of ice began falling. Every recruit panicked. They sprinted toward evacuation tunnels. Exactly as trained. I calculated casualties. High. Very high. The humans stopped playing. Their expressions changed instantly. No hesitation. No confusion. Only action. The female looked at the mountain once. Just once. Then she pointed toward a different route. Not the evacuation tunnels. The recruits ignored her. Of course they did. She was merely another student. Not an instructor. Not an expert. Certainly not a survival authority. Yet, the humans followed her without question. Not one of them asked why. Not one hesitated. I assumed they had accepted death together. That conclusion felt mathematically perfect. Then the mountain disappeared beneath white destruction. The official evacuation tunnels collapsed first, exactly where every recruit had run. My heartbeat stopped. My secondary heart failed moments later. The sensors showed no survivors. Except for human life signs. Still moving. Still breathing. Still walking somewhere beneath the impossible wall of snow. And before rescue teams could even reach the collapse, the female's calm voice appeared over an emergency channel. "We're fine." She paused. "Oh, we found lunch." The emergency channel filled with silence. Not electronic silence. Living silence. Every officer in the command tower stopped moving. No claws tapped consoles. No wings shifted. No breathing sacs expanded. My primary heart restarted. My secondary one did not. The transmission repeated automatically. "We're fine." Another pause. "Oh, we found lunch." The rescue commander looked at me. I looked back. Neither of us understood the final sentence. No one finds food beneath a collapsed mountain. Mountains contain stone, ice, compressed minerals, not meals. I assumed the translator had corrupted another human phrase. I was wrong. Again, the rescue drones reached the avalanche first. Thermal scans searched through 30 million tons of frozen debris. Nothing. No tunnels. No life pockets. No biological signatures. The drones reported complete burial. That should have ended the incident. Instead, one of my sensor officers raised a shaking claw. "Instructor." His voice cracked. "They're moving." Impossible. The thermal map flickered. 4 faint heat signatures. Not trapped. Traveling. Downward. No civilized species digs deeper into a collapsed mountain. Survival demands upward movement. Toward air. Toward light. Toward rescue. The humans moved the opposite direction. I marked another conclusion. Disorientation caused by oxygen deprivation. It explained everything. It explained nothing. The rescue commander ordered drilling operations. Heavy plasma cutters descended onto the avalanche. The humans immediately objected. "Negative." The female's voice remained calm. "Don't drill." I slammed my claw against the communications console. Explain. Her answer made no biological sense. Too much pressure. Pressure? The mountain had already collapsed. Pressure was no longer relevant. She continued before I could interrupt. You'll trigger another slide. I checked geological models. Every simulation disagreed with her. Every simulation predicted stability. I trusted mathematics. She trusted instinct. I ordered the drilling anyway. The first plasma cutter touched the ice. The mountain growled. Not metaphorically. It growled. Deep. Ancient. Like a sleeping predator disturbed before feeding. Every vibration, sensor screamed. A second fracture spread across the ridge. The commander froze. I did not. I canceled every drill instantly. 3 seconds later, the entire upper slope collapsed. Exactly where machines had been. 47 rescue drones vanished beneath fresh snow. If we had continued, hundreds of rescuers would have died. The command center became painfully quiet. No one looked at me. Everyone stared at the human signal. The female spoke again. Told you. There was no pride. No mockery. Only simple observation. As if warning strangers about falling rain. Hours passed. The humans kept moving underground. Their route curved strangely. Never directly upward. Never randomly. Purposefully. I enlarged the geological map. Natural cave systems. Old lava tubes. Ancient water channels. She was navigating them. Without scanners. Without maps. Without visual contact. That was impossible. Even predators cannot sense buried terrain. I reached the only logical conclusion. Humans possess underground perception organs. I added the theory to my report. It would later become another embarrassing mistake. The buried recruits had not survived. At least, that is what our scanners believed. Then, one signal appeared. Weak, barely alive. An avian cadet, buried almost 2 kilometers from the humans. Too far. Impossible to reach. Rescue teams calculated 12 hours. The cadet had perhaps one. The commander lowered his head. We have to record the loss. Before he finished, the female interrupted. We're going. I nearly tore the headset apart. No, you will die. Her answer was immediate. Maybe. Then the channel closed. Every human signal changed direction. Toward the trapped cadet. Away from safety. Away from oxygen. Away from escape. No intelligent creature abandoned survival for a stranger. Especially one from another species. Especially inside a living mountain. I knew they had finally made a fatal mistake. The command center watched in silence. Minute after minute. Their heat signature slowed. Then stopped. One by one. My heart sank. The humans had suffocated. It was inevitable. Physics always wins. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. Still no movement. I prepared casualty reports. The mountain had claimed them. Order had returned to the universe. Then, one signal flashed again. Another. Then, all 4. Alive. Moving. Faster than before. The female reopened communications. Found the bird. Bird? It took several seconds before I realized she meant the avian cadet. Background audio filled the channel. Heavy breathing. Shifting stone. Someone coughing violently. Then a human voice laughed. I think he bit me. The female answered without concern. Means he's awake. The transmission ended again. I stared at the display. Every prediction had failed. Every assumption had collapsed. Every survival equation I had trusted for decades meant nothing around humans. Night arrived. The storm above the mountain intensified. Winds reached lethal speed. Even if the humans escaped the avalanche, the surface would kill them. I accepted that certainty. The weather could not be negotiated. It could not be intimidated. It could not be ignored. Then another impossible event occurred. The humans stopped moving. Not because they were trapped, because they had decided to rest. Inside a frozen mountain, with limited oxygen, carrying an unconscious alien. I believed exhaustion had damaged their judgment permanently. Then I heard the female speaking softly over an open microphone. We eat now. Eat now. The others actually agreed. Metal wrappers crinkled. Containers opened. One human sighed happily. Best sandwich I've ever had. Another laughed. Everything tastes better after almost getting buried. My translator verified every word. I refuse to believe it. No organism interrupts an escape from death. For lunch. Yet they did exactly that. I imagined primitive brains surrendering to instinct. Food before logic. Hunger before survival. Humans truly were irrational. I would soon discover something far more terrifying. They were not eating because they had forgotten death. They were eating because they fully expected to survive it. That realization planted a fear inside me that no battlefield had ever created. For the first time in my entire career, I began to wonder if the most dangerous creature in the galaxy was not the one with the sharpest claws, but the one calmly finishing a sandwich while trapped beneath a mountain. Humans kept breathing after the mountains swallowed them. When I first witnessed that impossible miracle, I believed the universe itself had broken. I was wrong. The universe had never changed. Only my understanding of humanity had. Every law I trusted, every calculation I obeyed, every survival rule I taught. Humans shattered them all, not because they were fearless, but because they refused to leave anyone behind. That day, I stopped calling Earth a Deathworld. I started calling it the place where impossible creatures are born. And even now, whenever someone tells me humans cannot survive, I remember the day a mountain swallowed them, and the humans came back asking what was for lunch. The end. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic HFY sci-fi adventures. Your support helps bring more incredible stories from across the galaxy. Until next time, stay curious.